Taz, why you do that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Who, who? Hey guys, look at this sky. Do y'all see this view? I didn't even know it was gonna be this beautiful today. I am loving it. Very, 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 very appreciative. All right, so this is part two of Life is for Loving. Why? Because I absolutely love this book. Honestly, as I said in the first video, I would love to just read y'all the whole book. I'm going to start from chapter 3, and this chapter is about loneliness. Okay, so starting off, love is your very nature. You are lonely not because you have no one to love you or because people in general are not loving to you. You are lonely because you are frustrating the one source of love within you, and you are hopelessly looking for love and acceptance from others. Without the acceptance of love within you, you are unable to accept love from others, even when it's sincerely profound. For until you touch the love that is you, you can never touch a love that is another. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. The only way you can overcome the feeling of loneliness and separation is by realizing the continuity of God's love for you. I have loved thee with an everlasting love, which that's like a quote from the Bible. If y'all didn't know. Turn your thoughts within and feel the warmth and support of this eternal foundation of love in which you live and have been. Basically, it's just touching on, that feeling of loneliness and separation. The only way you can overcome it, as it says, is realizing the continuity of God's love for you and realizing that we are all made in and of love, and you are never without that love. God is forever, forever loving you. In the heart of every person, there is an awful homesickness for God, for wholeness, for unity. It comes from an intuitive awareness of His true being and love. Lack of this awareness of spiritual unity, the oneness of all life, of all person, leads to inner loneliness. It can also lead to all forms of selfishness, envy, anger, hate, pride, injustice, greed, cruelty, all beliefs in the superiority of oneself and the inferiority. Is that how you say it? I swear, I be reading these books to y'all, and it be testing my knowledge of how to say these words. All beliefs in the superiority of oneself and the inferiority of others. Okay, I don't know if I'm saying that right, guys, but y'all get the point. Okay, when really we must condition ourselves to look with eyes of love at our fellow creatures, to look beneath the surface and recognize the true self in one another, rather than reacting negatively to the surface selves with which are constantly coming into conflict. So, when you don't realize that oneness and you don't realize that you are forever connected to Source, which is God, like it says, it creates all of those forms of selfishness. You don't realize that you're connected in love with everyone and everything on this planet. Then it says you can grow from loneliness to oneness, but it will take effort. You will need to realize the reality of love that is always present, and you will have to practice its presence. You may feel that, ooh, I just got splashed on my foot. Bro, it's these boats out here. These boats going crazy, and they're making the water splash on me. But I wanted to sit by the water, so okay, back to the book. You may feel that your loneliness will give way to oneness when your true love comes along. Don't delude yourself. It is not in finding the right person, but in being the right person that leads to the fulfillment in love. No, but truly, you're not going to find fulfillment with someone else. Obviously, it can contribute. Bro, my whole foot just got wet. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to sit like that no more. It's the boat. I'm about to have to move, guys. This boat. It's this one boat out there that be causing these huge waves. If it could just go somewhere else, bro. They out there living their best life. Let me leave them alone. They just caused my whole foot to get wet. Let's just sit like this. Keep my foot. Anyways, what was I saying? I think I was saying obviously, someone can contribute to you feeling fulfilled, but you truly will only feel fulfilled with yourself and being the right person and knowing that oneness with God and yourself. You're not going to find it outside of that. You're not going to find it in another person. You're not going to find it in any other thing. I mean, you can continue to have other things be your source of happiness and fulfillment, but it will ultimately continue to lead you back to those things to feel fulfilled. And as I said in another video, you will only have true happiness and peace and fulfillment with God and Jesus in your life. Truly. The next part I wanted to dive into is just the healing power of love. The first video I did for Life is for Loving, I did my best to highlight just the key factors of how important love is and how impactful it is on your life. And I've also done another video where I talk about the importance of positivity. So I've definitely pretty much talked about the healing power of love before, but I still wanted to dive more into it. Not too much from the chapter, but you know, just some key little points. When Jesus repeatedly emphasized such things as love one another, love your neighbor as yourself, love your enemy, go the second mile, he was dealing with the healing power of love. He wasn't saying that you should be loving and forgiving because other people deserve it. Certainly, he knew the malicious intent with which others could treat you. He was saying that you can't afford to dwell on what others do, but must guard well how you react to what they do. He knew that you cannot afford not to dwell in the fullness of love, which is the key to health and healing. But truly, 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 any negative feelings towards you or to another person literally hurts you. Before I get into this next part, obviously, I don't know if this is exactly true, but it gave me a different perspective and it's very interesting when you think about it. And I kind of want it to be true. It could honestly be true. It has it makes a lot of sense, So let me just read it. Many persons have puzzled over the idea of God as the origin of all life because of the inescapable conclusion that he must have also created or caused disease, germs, and illnesses. But there is another much more likely conclusion that God, the creative process, makes all bacteria good, and that it is negative emotions of anger or worry or fear or hate that have poisoned the system and brought hostile organisms into being. And a kind of reverse application of Paul's be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. So I just thought that was interesting. And this next part right after it says, this is not to say that love is physical or chemical, but that this mysterious force has a measurable influence upon the balance of the physical system. That without the harmonizing power of love, the basic forces of the system run rampant and actually become self destructive. So, positive thinking, being unloving towards someone rather than being loving, It's not good for you. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a good thing. Okay. Okay, here's another part. I really wish I could read y'all the whole book because it would put in perspective and make a lot more sense, probably. But, you know, hopefully the little nuggets that I'm giving y'all still can make an impact and can give you a different perspective on love and just how powerful love really is. Which I know we hear it all the time, God is love, or the world needs love, or we're all made in love. But like, what does that really mean? And like, you got to dive deeper than just saying that, because when you just say it, okay, cool, you say it, and then you're still not realizing the actual love inside of you and the actual oneness with God, because maybe you're not allowing it, or there's just a lot of things that you deal with can be hard to overcome. Like, just because we know that love is the answer, we actually have to put in the work of seeking that, of seeking God, of seeking that relationship with Him, gaining that connection with God, talking to Him, praying to Him, seeking Him will give you the wisdom and the ability to acknowledge that there really is love all around us. Even with the world being how it is, I understand that it can be hard sometimes, but look inwards at yourself and look to God, and the rest will follow, truly. This next part says, the reason we are overcome by the world and thus turn from positive to negative emotions is that we are living in the consciousness of divisiveness. Div, div, div is if inness. How the heck do you say these words, bro? Anyways, the reason we are overcome by the world and thus turn from positive to negative emotions is that we are living in the consciousness of divisiveness instead of unity, not realizing oneness, not knowing that I am my brother and my brother is me. We see our life in conflict and competition with other persons. We think they can hurt us, harm us, or take good from us. We are defensive and fearful, creating walls to keep them out, but succeeding only in keeping the healing power of love dammed up within us. That's deep. I guess that's all I had, but let's see. Let's see if I can find one more thing to leave y'all with. Okay. So this book also has kind of a chapter about meditation, um, which I had a really important person in my life once tell me that prayer is you talking to God and meditation is letting God talk to you. I'm sure probably other people have said that, but it really is so true. And meditation honestly can be hard. Like, you realize when you start to do it and when you try to do it, quieting your mind and getting it to completely stop thinking. What? I'll be sitting there like I'll be sitting there trying to quiet everything out, and then a thought will pop in and it's like, go away. Like, but you just gotta keep at it, and you just gotta allow yourself, gotta give yourself time. All right, there's someone. Okay, they went away. You gotta give yourself time to really let your mind quiet, because since it's not a normal thing for us, and we're honestly always finding something to think about, you really have to let yourself sit there for a good amount of time to actually quiet your mind. Um, so I know people say to meditate all the time, but it really is good for you in a lot of ways. It's letting God speak to you. Not only that, it helps you to calm your nerves, calm your mind. Yeah, it's just very beneficial thing. Anyways, so this part is just speaking on, there's certain ideas that you can have when going into meditation, and this is a long paragraph, but I'm just gonna read a little bit from it. it says you can meditate on this idea that I am a creature of love, created in and of love, and I am in love with life, and life is in love with me. I am the work of God made visible through his love, and my work is to let this love express in me and as me, and to let it overflow through the work of my hands and the creativity of my mind. One thing I want to leave y'all with is some of y'all may not be Christians or believer in God and Jesus. But I do just want to say that we can all agree, hopefully, that we are made in and of love. And letting go of that control, like of the control of your life or the control of things. And kind of as it says, I am the work of God made visible through his love. When you tune into God and you focus in and let him work through you and love others through you, and just, let go of your ego and realize that we don't love others for the credit of ourselves. We love others because it's the right thing to do. And it's, if you do something for someone else for the benefit of you or for the acknowledgement of a thank you, I don't think you're really doing it as a loving act. So even in my last video I did, I was writing Bible verses and then putting a little note, and I just have created notes and I've been giving them out to people. And what I do is I give them the note, but then I hurry and run away, partly because my adrenaline is high, but also because I'm not looking for that thank you. I want God to do his thing, and I want them to feel the love, not from me. I want them to know they are loved and that it was an act of love. Yes, I may have been a messenger, but ultimately it was from God. When you take yourself out of situations, it's interesting because it actually is such a more beautiful and fulfilling feeling than putting yourself in situations and making it about you. Um, which is sometimes we know, and then other times in other situations we don't even realize it. It's such a learning process, but it's really beautiful. I'm still in the beginning stages of it, so obviously I still can operate in my ego. I can still do selfish things, of course. But like I said, letting God love others through you, being how Jesus was, allowing Jesus in your heart, it's beautiful. I hope my words could help y'all. And I may dive into this book again, Have a Life is for Loving Part 3. We will see, I guess. Go outside today, please. Love yourself today enough to give yourself 10 minutes of nature time and just soak it in. Maybe even meditate. Try to quiet your mind. Let God talk to you. It's a process, man. Give yourself some grace. God gives you grace. He really does. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go. I'm hungry, guys. Bye.